Massive, massive game tomorrow afternoon. Chelsea versus Ipswich, Stamford Bridge, 2 p.m. kickoff. This is a massive game. I know I say that on here a lot. I say all the time on here that all our games are massive, all our games are big. But this one is absolutely massive. The reason I say that is Nottingham Forest dropped points today. Everton beat them 1-0. Crystal Palace were having fun in the first half against Man City at the Etihad. Man City came back 5-2. In fact, let me show you the league table as it stands at the moment. Let me show you the league table as it stands at the moment. Because we are in an absolute pickle right now. Now, Newcastle currently, as it stands now, as I'm recording this, are 7th in the league. They still have a game in hand. They're joint 53 points as we are. Villa, 54 points. Extra game played. They beat Southampton 3-0 today. But if we look at that now, we are not guaranteed a top 5, top 4 finish at all. Our next games, I think, are Ipswich, Fulham, Everton. I think in that order. We have to win all 3 of those games. We cannot afford tomorrow night to be sat here with a defeat under our belt. It can't happen. Credit to Maresca. We've been away from the channel, so credit to Maresca. We didn't do our match reaction after the Legia Warsaw game, but it was a difficult first half to watch. But then the goals came flying in. You know, Sweet George done his thing in Europe, Poland. But Maresca has to get this right tomorrow. He really has to get this. The tactics have to be right. The lineup has to be right. The team has to be right. Go back to December 30th. Liam Delap, Amari Hutchinson, 2-0, Portman Road. We can't have a repeat of that. We can't even drop points to them. And that, this is Ipswich, 19th in the league. We should beat them comfortably. And I'm considering that we might not do that tomorrow. We can't afford to drop points at this point in the season. There can be no defensive mess-ups tomorrow at all. There can't be. This is a team now that, you know, a couple of years ago, you talk about Chelsea playing Ipswich. It was banked. You could bet anything on Chelsea being Ipswich a couple of seasons ago. We would treat them like Burnley or Birmingham City. It was a guaranteed 3 points. Newly promoted Ipswich Town. Now you're looking at this one. I'm thinking we could actually lose this game. If we lose tomorrow, the Champions League is done for us. I haven't even got onto the fact that Liverpool potentially could win the Premier League at Stamford Bridge yet. We still have Manchester United to play. We still have Nottingham Forest who, as I said, dropped points today. You don't want to get to that last game of the season and there has to be a 6-pointer. You don't want to be at that point. We need to make sure we've wrapped up Champions League or whatever it is that we're trying to finish, wherever we're trying to finish the season. We have to make sure we've wrapped that up before we get to that last game of the season. Because if we don't, and we go into that last game, listen, I would not be confident with this Chelsea squad winning on the last game of the season against Nottingham Forest. I just don't see it happening. So we can't afford to be in a position where we're dropping points, we're making silly mistakes tomorrow, we're not taking our chances in front of goal. All of those things matter. Everything matters in that, for me at that point. Maresca has to get this right. He tinkered with the squad a lot back in December. If you remember, I think he made several changes in that squad. He can't do that. He doesn't even need to do that tomorrow. He has to play the strongest squad. We're 3-0 up against Legia Warsaw. We don't need to rest players for the second leg. We don't need to do that. We're not doing what Arsenal are having to do now and rest certain players because they got Real Madrid in the second leg. We don't need to do that. Legia Warsaw having to come to Stamford Bridge and play their football our way. We can't afford to lose tomorrow. It's a huge game. But certain players need to step up. Now, and Nkunku, for me, I don't think he'd even make the team. I'm going to go through the lineup shortly, but I don't think Nkunku would make the team tomorrow. But whoever's in those attacking areas, whether that's Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, Pedro Neto, Nicholas Jackson, whoever it is, they have to step up and take chances tomorrow. Because it's going to be a physical game. It's going to be an absolutely physical game tomorrow because we know that Liam Delap, we know that he's the main threat for Ipswich going forward. I think 12 goals this season. He's going to be the main threat. And it's going to be a physical game. Now, I say all that to say this. We have to be first to every ball tomorrow. This is a cup final. This is a cup final, I'm sorry. Treat it like a cup final. Treat every single game that we have now like a cup final. That's what they are now. If this club and we are serious about trying to get in the Champions League, we have to treat them we have to be determined to get in there. No ifs or buts. I only said last week, we can't even be banking on trying to get 5th place. We have to be in that top 4. Nottingham Forest dropping points today was good, but if you look at the other teams around us, they're picking up pace now. And they've got the more advantage in terms of their remaining fixtures. We've got some tricky games coming up, away and at home. But this has to be a performance for me that Maresca gets right from the start. And this is a performance that we can't see certain things. And this is what worries me. You know, Maresca, when he first joined us, it was very much it was like a breath of fresh air. It was like listening to a new manager. Obviously, Poch done well the back end of the last season, but I'm listening to him now, Enzo Maresca, and everything that he was saying at the start of the season, he isn't saying now. Now I'm questioning if the management is as good as I thought it first was. Personally, I'm seeing cracks in there now. I'm seeing sort of changes to the lineup that is not necessary, a bit similar to the Arsenal game. But he has to get the tactics right. He has to get them right. He is the manager of this football club. And he has to get them right tomorrow. He can't afford to let any mistakes in at all. At all. Now, we do come into this. We're currently 4th. We're fighting for Champions League. We drew to Brentford recently. Won at Legia Warsaw. Yeah, our scoring hasn't been good enough this season. Our scoring has been, I think it's dropped off since obviously December. We were flying high in the league. You know, we were scoring for fun. Maresca has to rediscover that form. He has to rediscover that form and change something. Change something in this squad because we're talking about Ipswich Town. The last time Ipswich Town done a double on Chelsea was the 1978-79 season. We can't let that happen tomorrow, guys. We can't afford to let Ipswich do the double on us. Can't be having that at all. We can't be having that at all. I think Alan Brazil was still playing in that squad for them then as well. Ipswich Town, 1978, 1979 was the last time they did the double against us. We can't afford to let that happen. We just can't. Going to be a tricky game. But it's a game that I'm going in with the level of confidence that I think I should be. I think we should be able to go in there and win the battles in the midfield. I think we should be able to dictate the play. I think we should be able to control a lot of the possession. I think one of the things that we know as well is the low blocks. We've been struggling against low blocks all season. And this is where, for me, the manager has to start earning his money because he has to either change things tactically, go to a back three with the wing backs, or you add an extra body in that midfield. But you've got to change something because if you don't, you're going to struggle to block that, to break down those low blocks all the time. And Ipswich Town will do that tomorrow. This is probably the worst time to play a team like Ipswich Town because they got nothing to lose. They already are pretty much relegated. They've got nothing to lose. This is almost a free hit for them. They can go out there with the level of less pressure, more confidence, less pressure. They haven't got nothing to prove. They're all but relegated. They're 18th in the league. Southampton are down already. It's going to take a miracle for them to stay up. they're going to come into this game and think, you know what, let's have a go today, boys, and let's try and beat Chelsea like they did at Portman Road. They've got nothing to lose. We have. So we have to make sure that we can get the 3 points tomorrow. Now, in terms of predicted lineup, I think we're going to see some changes than we did on Thursday night. I think we'll see Robert Sanchez back in goal. He's my first choice, as you can see on the screen. Robert Sanchez in goal. Going Reece James, who I thought was brilliant on Thursday night. Gone for him as my right back. I've gone with the 2 centre-back partnership pairing. The consistency that I mentioned before, we still need to keep seeing that. So for me, it's going to be Levi Colwell and Trevor Chalobah as the centre-backs with Mark Correa as the left-back. I've then gone for the 2 in midfield, which is Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. Both those are going to have to be crucial in the midfield. They're both going to have to be switched on. I still don't know if Moises Caicedo is still running that risk of the 2 yellow cards, the 2-match ban if he picks up a yellow card. If he does, this will be the worst time for him to pick this up now. It will be the absolute worst time for Moises Caicedo to get a 2-match ban. So I don't know if that's still in play, whether it's been reset. I don't think it will be at this point in the season. So if he picks up a yellow card, Moises Caicedo will miss the next 2 Premier League matches, should that still be the rule that's in place at the moment. So for me personally, I think the 3 in front of the midfield would have to potentially be, and this is where I'm going to change things a little bit. I'm going to go with Cole Palmer as the 10. I'm going to go with Noni Madueke on the right. I'm going to go with Pedro Neto on the left. And I'm going to go with Nicholas Jackson up front. And I think that's going to have to be the lineup that we're going to have to go with. I think it gives us a lot of balance. It gives us opportunity to get the fullbacks forward as much as Maresca doesn't really like to do that. I think he's going to have to in this game. I think he's going to have to engage with those, the fullbacks going to have to engage with the defence for Ipswich. They're going to have to do that because in order to break them down, we're going to have to overload and make things difficult and break down those 2 blocks of 4, which is what they'll have. So we have to make sure that we're just on our job tomorrow. We just have to be. I'm actually really nervous for this game because I know for a fact if we lose, let's just kiss the Champions League goodbye. Let's just kiss it goodbye. I actually think if we lose, there'll be a lot more pressure on Enzo Maresca. I think not just from the fans, I think from upstairs in the boardroom. I think if he misses out on Champions League, I think there'll be a conversation he needs to go and have with the owners. And it might not be a good one. It might be his final conversation with the owner. I think it could get there. But we can't afford to lose. And it'll be embarrassing if we lose to Ipswich. And that's no disrespect to them, but they're 18th in the league for a reason. I'm going to leave it there. I want to know what you think in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Do not forget to subscribe, like the video, share your thoughts. We are on the road to 800 subscribers. So I have seen a couple of new subscribers join over the last 48 hours. Make sure if you're new here or you have been a returning subscriber, but you haven't smashed that button, make sure you smash it before you go. Leave your predictions in the comments as well. Let's hope we get 3 points tomorrow. Let's start the week in a positive way. Let's try and have a positive week as Chelsea fans for once in our lifetime. Let's hope we can get 3 points. We'll be back tomorrow with the match reaction tomorrow. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you do not miss that as well. And until then, we'll be back soon.